Well, Skip, I mean, we've had a chance to watch Kyrie on this run to the finals, and we've been very impressed. Even to go as far as hearing LeBron call him probably the most gifted player he's ever seen.
Yep.
So, I mean, and we've heard numbers of players say Kyrie is the most skilled player they ever seen.
Yep.
So when I put those words together and you see him come up with 14 points on 35% shooting and 0 for 8 from 3 in this series, I got to put it at a level 10.
Ooh, wow.
I mean, come on. I mean, these aren't, think about the words, most gifted player ever, most skilled player ever. Well, if that's what I'm truly watching, and you set a standard so high for Kyrie based on his skills and gifts and ability to play the game of basketball, I mean, this is highly kind of disappointing. And so, I mean, I would put it at a 10, Skip. I mean, there's no other way to put it because I just hold him at such a high regard. I mean, you know, I just do. He's a Hall of Famer. He's going to go down as one of the greatest guards to ever play. And based on what he's done throughout the playoffs, to see this right now in the biggest moments, in the biggest spotlight of the year now, it's 10. I mean, what else could it be?
You know, it could be a 10 or another number, and I got him at an 8. And I could put him at a 10 based on everything you said. But I feel like he's going to come out of Boston and get home to Dallas, and we'll see a different Kyrie. Doesn't mean they're going to win, just mean we'll see a different player. I feel like Boston, for whatever it is in the building, he can tell us all day long at his press conferences, he can shrug it off, he can play the quiet, I'm the Kyrie with the basketball, and, you know, he can do all that in his press conferences. But in the end, when I'm watching him play, it looked like nerves have gotten to him to some degree.
I agree.
When you traveling, you tell me if I'm wrong though, Paul, when you traveling or when I'm talking about not traveling, moving your pivot foot, I'm talking about I got the ball, I'm unsure what to do. Now I'm up and down traveling. That to me is like, I don't want to call it scared, I call it just nerves. Like I'm in the wrong building. Like I'm afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
That like he's putting that type of pressure on him. Although he would tell us, I'm not worried about it, there's no pressure. But watching him and watching the tape, I can see where things could bother him by not being sure about things and being unsure. His play, like when he goes to shoot the ball, if you watch him closely, he's double clutching a lot of the times too. I don't know if I want to take this. Okay, I'm gonna take it. It's one of those situations. So you look at that and you say to yourself, has he been outplayed by Jrue Holiday? Yeah, of course he has. I mean, Drew's scoring 19, he's scoring, 14? Drew's got averaging about 9 rebounds a game. Kyrie, not a big rebounder, but he's only gotten 4. Okay, he's shooting 35% to 65% for Drew. So it's like a lot of that, I think, is the building, the fan base. It's just, I'm scared to make a mistake because I know if I do something wrong, they getting ready to get on me. Opposed to just approaching it and saying, the hell with it.
I think a lot of it is the Celtics defense has a lot to do with it too. I think it's a combination of things.
Yeah.
You know, I think the crowd is affecting them. You know, because it's clearly, I mean, I was talking to Shaq about this sitting right next to him. We was talking like, man, it looked like the crowd in his head. Every time he gets the ball or when he come in the game, they chanting. You know, he even went as far as to mention the crowd when he didn't have to in the press conference.
Yeah.
You know, so it must have been something that happened in game 1 with the crowd to where he would mention something like that, like, oh, the crowd didn't affect me. But then really coming into game 2, now that's in your head. Now you're thinking about that. On top of having to deal with arguably the best defensive backcourt the league has seen in quite some time, dealing with one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NBA. Well, record-wise, they're the best team, and on the road against a team that's just been dominant. It's a lot of things that you have to factor this into to him not playing well.
And you think about it, Skip, all postseason, he's been kind of up and down the entire postseason. We could look at the Minnesota stretch where he scored 30 straight in 3 straight games. But when you look at some of the other series, he just been like this, in a roller coaster ride. So getting back to Dallas certainly will serve him well.
Is Drew Holiday going to be there in Dallas? Because if he is,
Drew Holiday is going to be there in Dallas.
he's going to be
Will
there.
Drew Holiday score 20 points a game? You know, that's not really what Drew is known for. He's capable. He's a capable scorer. I mean, but we know what Drew brings to the party. And when Drew goes out there, if Drew is giving you these numbers, 14, we wouldn't be talking about this. But we talking about one of Dallas's nuclear weapons, as we've been talking about all playoff long. It's looking more like a BB gun right now.
Yep, I agree. So, Paul, to all your initial points about this, most gifted ever, part of the greatest scoring backcourt ever, most talented backcourt ever. I saw things last night I thought I would never see as long as Kyrie was still in his prime, and he's on the backside of his prime, but he's still in it. I saw Drew Holiday take him out of the game. I saw Drew Holiday play as strong and physical and nasty and shrewd and quick defense as I've ever seen anybody play on Kyrie bleeping Irving. I saw Kyrie give him everything he's got, all the crossovers and all the
step backs,
and this, and I'm trying. And he looks up, and Drew's still staring him right in the eyes because he's gone nowhere. He's right there with him. And Keyshawn, it reminded me a little bit last night of Revis in his prime when he was right. The way he would lock people up like Chad Johnson once upon a time, put him on Revis Island, where he was so physical and he was so stout and strong and he could mirror just beautifully. That's what Drew Holiday was doing to little Kyrie last night. And Kyrie was getting frustrated where he just couldn't find an opening. He would try, and then he'd try to heave something up at the clock, and it was getting hard to watch. So my disappointment, he did make some nice two-point shots in the first two games. So I'll give him my disappointment level's at a 9 right now. I can't quite go to a 10, but man, he's it for that team because Luka's going to be Luka. He's going to get his numbers.
Look, they're here because of Kyrie, Skip.
Well, they are. I've told you that from the start. And so they're going to go as far as Kyrie carries them, not only on, but off the court. He is the leader of that team. He has been the catalyst for that team. And he's often been the closer for that team because they trade off closing games. So Luka was awful last night in the fourth quarter, and Kyrie was not to be found. He scored 4 points. But what's killing me, I'm looking at two-game numbers. Kyrie's 35% from the floor.
Yeah.
He's obviously 0% from 3, 0 for 8. But he's only gotten to the free throw line 2 times. He got the free throw line twice, or once last night and shot 2 free throws on Drew Holiday. So that's it? That's all you got? Well, hey, if you keep this, if Drew takes you out of game 3, then you might as well just
But he's not even getting all the way to the cup to even be fouled. As soon as he sees like Al Horford or Porzingis or somebody, he just does his deal, turns around and pulls up at the elbow, and he just doesn't go all the way to the cup, so he's not going to get fouled.
He had a couple last night where he got home with it, but hey, if now Porzingis can't go on Wednesday night, maybe it's a super highway to the basket for Kyrie. Huh?
Yeah, okay.
Are you scared?
Porzingis. Are you scared of Porzingis?
Are you scared?
I'm hearing the fear in your voice. If Porzingis can't go, you done said it about 4 times. Listen, they didn't play. Listen, they 12. What is it? 12-2 without Porzingis in the playoffs, or wait, he played the first couple games in Miami. You know what? We might have not even lost a game with him. Maybe lost 1 game when he played, but we're still winning games. Like, people thought this would be a bad matchup, and because Dallas had, they played Minnesota, 50-win team, OKC, 50-win team. Well, look, Skip, they're playing a 60-win team now. What do they look like? A 60-win team can afford to lose 1 major player in all of this and still play well. That's what 60-win teams do.
Really?
Now, do we want to go and look up their record?
MRI today? He's having an MRI. Yikes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If he can't go, next man up.
Next
if
man
he can't
up.
go, next man up.
Yeah, so you go 5 deep instead of 6 deep.
We go 5 deep. Whatever you want to pay Pritchard is a factor.
He's a factor?
Yeah.
He made 1 shot last night. He closed his eyes and heaved it from half court and
it gave
in.
I was in the building, Skip. It gave the crowd energy. It boosted us into the half. They came out in the third quarter ready. That's a big play. That's a big play.
Yeah.
He played well to me. And he got the steal on Luka Dončić from behind. He gave him energy.
He did do that.
12 minutes. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Peyton Pritchard made that shot, the luckiest shot of the night. And he gave him a pound in his heart.
It energized the building.
We got this.
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah. That was a way to go.
Yeah,
that was a way to go right there.
On your side. He's your secret weapon. He better have a game on Wednesday night without Porzingis. He's going to be forced into more duty.
That was a huge shot right there.
It was. It put you back up
from 6 to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about it. If they don't go in, they go in halftime up 6. Dallas came in and scored like the first couple points. They would have been down 2. And so it would have been a different game then. So shout out to my boy Peyton Pritchard. And look, don't let Hauser make a shot.
Boy.
He was 0 for 5.
Hauser, way
He's
to go.
not going to just keep going.
Cooking last night. Okay. Maybe role players for you play better on the road, right?
Yeah, our bench players actually play better on the road because there's no pressure at home. They get comfortable at home, I think.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.